For your patience. I know that you've all been clamoring for some details on this dynamic incident that we had this morning. With me today is obviously, let me start with the FBI, Dan Powers, a special agent in charge here in Austin. I want to thank them. They immediately responded and are assisting us with this ongoing investigation because this does involve an officer-involved shooting in response to this individual's attack here in Austin. Margot Frazier, our police monitor, is here with us, helping us with our oversight over our investigation. The district attorney's office is obviously here as well, the Travis County District Attorney's office as well, and our executive team, Chief Munguia and all the chiefs. So I want to thank you again for being here. This incident started at about 2:22 a.m. As you all know from Austin, that's a very busy time right after bar closing in downtown Austin, with hundreds if not thousands of people leaving our bars, and usually we're inundated with calls for service right after bar closing. At 2:22 a.m., the first calls came in of shots fired. We also had Georgia officers with our downtown officers put out possible gunfire in the area of 4th and Nueces. At 2:24 a.m., more reports of gunfire came in with people reporting possible automatic weapon being fired in downtown Austin. At 2:28 a.m., reports came in that gunshots were being fired at the federal courthouse. That's our new courthouse here in Austin, Texas. At 2:29 a.m., we received reports of gunshots being fired at the Mexican consulate. At 2:32 a.m., our headquarters came under attack here in downtown Austin. So if you can imagine, from within a period of 10 minutes, we received reports of gunshots in several locations here in Austin. While the suspect was discharging a fusillade, a lot of bullets at the Austin Police Headquarters at about 2:33 a.m., an Austin Police sergeant who was in the process of loading up our horses from our mounted patrol that were done for the evening, saw the gunshots, heard the gunshots, saw the gunmen, saw our building that was under attack, and also heard gunshots ricocheting near his own vicinity. The sergeant at approximately 2:33 a.m. returned fire. Upon returning fire, the suspect went to the ground. At 2:34 a.m., EMS was called and requested to stage by the Austin Police Department for a suspect that was down. After the suspect went down, patrol officers grabbed the suspect, started dragging him away from his vehicle. It's important to note that two things were observed by our officers. One was suspicious cylinders inside the suspect's vehicle, which is a van located in front of the police headquarters. Anytime you have cylinders in a situation like this where someone's attacking government facilities, you have to think about IEDs and you have to think about possible explosive devices, especially in the environment that we operate today. As the officers were dragging the suspect away from that vehicle, getting ready to render aid, they noticed some type of vest on the suspect. The officers, having seen the suspicious items in the vehicle and now this vest, we're unable to determine whether or not that was simply a protective vest or potentially an IED suicide type vest that is known to be used around the world. Due to the potential and the unknown nature of the vest the suspect was wearing, the officers immediately disengaged and called for our bomb squad. We also called for, obviously because we had an active situation, for a SWAT call out. So at 2:40 a.m., the bomb squad started responding. At 2:41 a.m., because of the nature of the threat with the cylinders, we shut down IH-35 and the surrounding streets near APD headquarters, and also evacuated APD headquarters. At 3:01 a.m., the police department discovered that the BBT Bank at 5th and Rio Grande had also been targeted by the suspect. It's important to note that over 100 rounds, we don't have an exact count, obviously that's part of the investigation, but many rounds were fired in downtown Austin. This time of the night, it's really dangerous. We also have developed information, physical evidence, that shows that the suspect, while at the Mexican consulate, utilized the small camping, those little green cylinders that we use for our little portable barbecues to try to ignite the Mexican consulate. A fire was in fact ignited, believed to be started by this suspect, but fortunately it was put out prior to the consulate receiving any type of extensive fire damage. The officer involved is a 15-year veteran, and again, he's a sergeant assigned to the mounted unit. We will not be releasing his name at this time because we have to make sure that we get his family squared away and situated. He obviously will be placed on administrative leave with pay, which is consistent with our protocols. I can just tell you that for a guy to keep his composure, holding 2 horses with one hand and taking a one-handed shot with the other hand is just says a lot about the training and professionalism of our police department. One of the things that we will be looking at in terms of this suspect is motive. We will also be looking at his sequence of events. We haven't been able to determine exactly what was the sequence of the building where they're attacked. And we will also be looking, as part of our criminal investigation, whether the officer's gunfire struck the suspect or whether the suspect took his own life. That has not been determined at this time, and we will have to wait for the coroner's office, the medical examiner's office, as part of his investigation to make that final determination. I can tell you also that with this many crime scenes, that the area will be impacted, but the freeway is completely open, and we plan on keeping it open for the near future. We won't see any reason to stop it. I want to personally thank and commend the men and women of the Austin Police Department. They responded to multiple scenes at the same time, and they were obviously able to contain the situation, and we're very fortunate that at 2:22 a.m., as you all from Austin know how many people are out on the streets. We're very fortunate. You know, this Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving Friday, this weekend, I give thanks that no one but the suspect is injured or deceased, and that's something that we should all take a lot of comfort in. I also want to thank the FBI, who has been here with us from the very beginnings of this incident, as the federal partners that they are, and they will obviously help us with this investigation. But it is ongoing, it's fluid. We have located the suspect's residence, and obviously that will be part of our investigation, and we're in the process of looking into that through search warrants, and obviously making sure that there's no secondary IEDs or anything of that nature at the suspect's location. With that, I'm going to open it up to any questions.
Chief, can you talk